Hey guys, welcome back to another flashlight review, and today we are going to be looking at the brand new Sofirn IF24Pro. And last month I reviewed the IF24 and a few of you mentioned rumors about a Pro version being released. So I reached out to Sofirn and it was indeed true. So they sent me out this sample of the IF24Pro for me to review. And I think the IF24 Pro, very similar to the IF24, is the perfect all-round flashlight. It's got a spot beam, floodlight, programmable RGB light as well. And the big differences that you'll find with the Pro version and the normal one is that the Pro version has a buck driver paired with 5000K SFT40, which is a huge upgrade in my opinion. And while not everyone might need these extra upgrades, I certainly think it's worth considering if you want improved long range and sustained output. Another difference is that the IF24 is a bit brighter at 2000 lumens, while the Pro version produces 1800 lumens due to the buck driver. So let's take a look at what's in the box. So here is the box, the IF24 Pro box, and it actually doesn't say Pro here on the side. It looks like this is pretty much the same box that you get with the normal IF24, but if you look down the side of the box there, you can see, IF24 Pro SFT40 5000K. So looks like they've just used the same box, and of course you get the light itself. Sofirn include a 18650 cell. Just a Sofirn branded 18650 cell, 3000 milliamp hour cell. Couple of extras here. You get an instruction manual. You also get lanyard, a couple of spare O-rings, and you do get a USB-C charging cable. So this is a side-by-side comparison with the IF24, and they pretty much look identical. Okay, the only thing that you can probably tell is the lettering up the top there. This one says IF24 Pro and the left says IF24, so you can tell it is the upgrade. And of course, like I was saying before, you've got the SFT40 on the Pro version and the SST40 on the normal version. Alrighty, so just a little close-up of the IF24 Pro, and you can see it's got a tube style design with one side flattened off, and it somehow reminds me a bit of those flat style flashlights, the ones that have those inbuilt batteries, just due to the similar features on there. Great quality machining as well, no imperfections or sharp edges. And I do like that Sofirn have included a decent rigid deep carry clip as well here. Anodizing is matte black, very grippy. And they're using a nice new kind of anodizing I haven't seen on some of their older flashlights, and it's grippier, just feels more sleek, higher quality. I'm happy that they switched over to this new anodizing because I don't use lanyards, and a bit of extra grip does give me some more confidence. And I've also got this button, of course, on the side here, the same old button on the IF24 that just rotates. It select all the different modes. Center switch is the selector. Okay, also, the button is all made of metal. The tail cap here on the end is pretty simple. It unscrews, so you can remove or insert an 18650 battery. It takes any kind of 18650 battery, and that's something that you can't do on a lot of those flat style flashlights with inbuilt batteries. So for a lot of people, that's why this light is quite popular, because it does have all those features, but it's future-proof as well. I also found out that there is a magnet on the end, which makes it very useful as a work light. On the side of the flashlight here, there's a USB port, so USB-C charging. There's also a battery indicator, which is right next to the port as well. So a little close-up underneath the bezel, and it's very difficult to make out, but you've got that 5000K SFT40 paired with a TIR lens, and this greatly improves the throw of this flashlight when compared to the SST40 in the IF24. So that alone, in my opinion, is worth the extra spend here. And the glass lens, get a glass lens also on top of the TIR lens that helps protect it a bit. And you've also got this stainless steel inner bezel, which, I don't know, adds like a nice little highlight. Functionality wise, yeah, probably not, doesn't add too much to it. Here are the side LEDs, and I did a bit of research. They're likely to be 22 high CRI CSP 13 LEDs, these yellow ones on the side there, or the floodlight. And you've got these 15 times RGB LEDs as well in there. You've got this nice frosted glass panel which covers the side LEDs, protects them. I think that's a great bonus. A lot of these lights just have a plastic panel that's easily scratched. All right, so I'm going to go through the UI, and at the moment I have it on the spot LED mode. So just that little icon there, that sun icon. So single click turns the light on. If you press and hold, okay, just ramps from low, medium, high. You can also long press for moonlight from off. Now, at any time, you can also double press for turbo, double press for strobe, double press for the SOS mode, and double press once again for beacon. The next mode here with the 3 dots is basically activating the RGB mode. So single click to turn it on and off. It does turn on automatically if you've got it on another setting, but you can turn it off and have it sort of resting in that mode as well. This is pretty simple. Basically just press and hold to change the color. Okay. See it just changing. The camera is struggling to focus for some reason. I think it's just confusing the camera, but very intuitive, very simple to use. And another thing you can do is just double press and access some other interesting RGB modes. So this is like a flashy RGB mode, okay? And you've got the flashy RGB mode. You've got this one here, which is kind of like an emergency mode, I guess, to attract attention. You've got this other mode here, which just fades slowly between all the different colors. Soothing, actually. You've got this one here, which is, I believe, called waterfall mode. This one here, droplet mode, again, just cycles through the different colors. And then you've got this last one, which is called the neon fade mode. It fades between different colors. And then you click again to just get back. Now this last mode here with this light icon with a few of these beams, you just press that and you've got the 22 times high CRI LEDs, and basically pretty similar to the spot function. You just press and hold to step up low, medium, high. There is also a moonlight mode. Very difficult to see here in camera, but that's the moonlight mode. At any point as well, you can double press and get a turbo mode. Alrighty, so I ran a ceiling bounce test with the Sofirn IF24Pro, and you can see here on turbo starts out at 100%, starts to drop almost immediately. Okay, you do get a little bit of a drop off, but between 90 to 100% output up until the 1 minute mark, where it steps down to roughly about 50%. And I ended the test at about 12 minutes. I ran a second ceiling bounce test as well, as you can see here, starts out at 100%, drops slightly, but pretty much maintains the output past the 30-minute mode. I also ran a bunch of tests with my Audible Light Master Pro, and you can see here on turbo a very impressive 348 meters of throw, which outperforms some of my tactical flashlights, dedicated throwy tactical flashlights. And even on the high mode, managed to get 273 meters of throw. Super impressive. I ran another test on the floodlight mode, so 100%. That does reach 41 meters, which still is pretty impressive considering that it's basically just flood. The CRI for the spot beam ranged between 63 and 66, and the floodlight I measured 96 CRI. You can see here the CCT as well ranged from 4,400 up to 5,000 on turbo with the spot mode, and the CCT on turbo with the floodlight at 100% was 4,700. I think the Sofirn IF24 Pro is pretty much the best of both worlds in terms of this really strong spot beam, and you've got the floodlight on the side, but you've got also the fact the SFT40 produces a decent amount of flood. Some considerations you need to be aware of: Now, it would be nice to be able to activate both the flood LEDs and the spot LEDs at the same time. It's just something that I do use from time to time, maybe to see where I'm walking. But with this SFT40 in there, it does produce lots of flood, so it's not a big deal. Also think it would be better if the light didn't automatically switch on when you rotate the switch. So, it might be here in this mode, or might even be on the off mode here. So the lock mode, so it does just switch on automatically. I think this would help prevent accidental activation in your pocket, but the light does, like I said before, come in that lock mode here. It's not easily rotatable, this switch as well, and if you're really worried, you can just unscrew the tail cap a 1/8 turn. The side LEDs as well, another thing I wanted to mention, they're just underneath the buttons. So yeah, when you turn on those side LEDs, I find they're just really glaring. So I just tend to turn it away from me and then activate them. But it does, yeah, would it be nice if maybe they were on the back or something? But I do get with the panel and the board on the back there, it just makes sense to put it in that flat area. And the final consideration, of course, is that the IF24Pro does come at a slight premium to the normal version of the IF24. It's not as bright as well on turbo, like I mentioned, 1800 lumens compared to 2000 lumens, but you do get that buck driver, which for those of you who need sustained, long sustained output, no drops in output as the battery voltage reduces, then there's no question that the IF24Pro is the one you want to get. So if you were thinking of getting the IF24 but changed your mind due to that unregulated driver, the IF24Pro is definitely the one for you. It's an absolute bargain for what you get with all the features that are included. If you're looking for a pocketable light, they can pretty much do it all. I'd recommend this flashlight. I think the increased throw performance with the SFT40 is impressive, and like I said, it rivals some of my long-range tactical flashlights. And not to mention, of course, this replaceable battery. So that seals the deal for me at the end of the day. But let me know what you think. I do have a discount voucher for the IF24 Pro that you can get in the video description. Just go ahead and check it out there. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments and I'll answer them. If you also found the video helpful, do me a big favor and click the like button. It just helps me get the video out there to more people. And if you want to see more flashlight reviews and keep up to date with the latest reviews, make sure you subscribe. Alrighty, I've got the Sofirn IF24 Pro and I'm going to go through all the different modes. So this is on the spot beam. Okay, press and hold, 2, 3. So there's basically 3 steps on the spot beam, and even on the 3rd step, which is high, you can see that it reaches to the back of those trees fairly easily. And on this mode, it doesn't step down as well due to the buck driver. So it's great sustained output, and I would say the spill is very usable, but if you have it, say, on that 2nd mode, medium mode, yeah, you can get by if it's really dark, but you do need to step it up a little bit to get a bit more of that spill. Okay, so I'll just go from 1st, 2nd, 3rd mode, just show you again, 3rd, and then turbo. So with that turbo mode, you can really see the difference there. It's just incredible. All the way, it's reaching all the way to the back of those trees and illuminating even the trunks of the trees. And that's something, I mean, I normally only see this kind of performance on tactical flashlights that have a smooth reflector. So we can reactivate that turbo again. Yep. Let's see if I can activate that side mode, the flood mode. Okay. That's the flood mode from behind the camera, but I will go for a bit of a walk and show you what it looks like. Now this is on turbo as well, so you can actually cycle through the other 1, 2, 3 steps, but it's very difficult to see here on camera. But actually, if you have it on even the medium or the high mode, on that flood mode, it's more than enough light really
to get by with. Now, again, I'm just going to go have a bit of a walk around and show you what this light looks like, the beam profile. So activating turbo here. First, hang on. Whoop. 1, 2, 3. So the 3 steps are just press and hold. 1, 2, 3, and turbo. So yeah, turbo does give it a bit, definitely a bit of a kick in terms of performance. It just allows you to see the trees, what's going on. There's like a sign or something right at the end as well that shows up. But if I have it just on the high mode, it doesn't seem to pick it up so well. Yeah, you can still see that sign there, but with the turbo, that's so useful. And you can see the flood, it's not as pronounced as you do see on those reflector style flashlights, but it is usable, for something like this, little TIR reflector. It's quite impressive. Now, I'll just switch that back onto like I was showing you before, this flood mode. And surprisingly, these LEDs are high CRI LEDs, and yeah, it just looks, I'm partially colorblind, so I'm not the best person to ask for this kind of thing with red-green color blindness, but certainly for me, it makes a difference. I can tell when walking around, things just look a little bit more vibrant, a little bit more, I can identify the colors better than if I'm using low CRI light. And the beam profile of this floodlight goes almost 180 degrees, so well into your peripherals, which makes it quite a useful generalized light. This is on the turbo mode, but if I just put it down to the high mode, like that, this is good as well. There's a bit of ambient light where I'm walking around at the moment, so it's not the best place to be demonstrating this, but if it was completely pitch black, I'd have no issues at all. Using even a medium mode would be sufficient. The RGB mode, I probably won't go into too much detail with this. Just press and hold to change the color of the LEDs. Okay. Sofirn IF24Pro, and that's the high mode, but we'll cycle between the 3, so low, medium, high, low, medium, high. Yeah, medium's pretty good for general walking light. High just really steps it up a notch, and the great thing about using this high mode as well is that it's actually a sustainable output, so it doesn't step down from this level of brightness due to that buck driver. And I can also double press for turbo, which allows me to really see well into the distance. This thing throws over 300 meters, which is very unusual for a smaller bezeled light like this. That is, paired with that SFT40, I think Sofirn have made a really good choice of swapping out that SST40 for an SFT40, get that additional long range performance, which is what you want in a spot beam essentially. Look at that. Now the beam, as you can see here, there's a little bit of ringiness around in the spill. To me, it's not a big deal. I'm mainly just looking at that spot, but the spill is pretty usable as well. Okay, as with a lot of these TIR lens flashlights, you do need to ramp it up a fair bit onto at least medium or high for you to see any decent spill whatsoever. Okay, but it's yeah, usable spill, but a lot of that light is predominantly focused into the hotspot. Okay, just cycling through the 3 modes and then back to turbo again, as you can see.